Hey guys, it's Sam with two M's, and welcome to this MYXclusive interview. As you guys can see, I have a very special guest here with me. He is one of Singapore's leading hip hop artists who's been giving us so many tracks to vibe to, and he's here to talk about how he's been, his latest single, Mommy, and everything in between. Everyone, please welcome Young Raja. Woo!
What's up, guys? Thank you so much, Sam with two M's. I really appreciate that beautiful introduction. Thank you for having me here.
Of course, I'm so excited to have you here. Like I was telling you before this, I was literally just listening to your music and just vibing by myself over here. So it's been really cool having you today. Yay! So how you been?
Fantastic. I don't think I've done any kind of these Zoom calls or like spoken to anybody from the Philippines. It's one of my favorite countries. I've yet to come there. I'm just super excited to be a part of this. So thank you. Sorry.
Oh my God. I'm your first. I'm like pressured now. I feel pressured. I'm just kidding. No, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But how you been doing? I know there's been a lot of things going on in the world. I know are you in Singapore right now?
Yes, I'm in Singapore.
Yeah. So how are things over there? How have you been through everything?
Well, it's not too bad, man. I think things are getting slightly better over here, but still, it hasn't gone back to how things used to be, of course, But everybody's just trying to be as cautious and as careful as possible. I think 2020 really taught us a lot of lessons on how to keep the morale up, regardless of what's going on. So I think right now everybody's kind of figuring out how to keep the show going on, regardless of the circumstances. So it is I feel that there is a thick silver lining in this situation, regardless of how bad things are. I'm very grateful that my team and I are doing some great work that we're happy with, fulfilling stuff, and the creative juices are flowing still, so I'm very grateful for that. So thank God for that. But yeah, very, very, very happy and very grateful. Things are a lot more worse in other parts of the world, so we have a lot to be grateful for and thankful for. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, that's
What
great.
about you?
That's
How's
great
it
to
like?
hear.
How's it like in Philippines?
Oh, thank you for asking. It's a little bit crazy here in terms of the pandemic situation, but like you said, we're all kind of finding ways to really keep ourselves sane and like stay productive despite everything that's been going on, and to just really take care of ourselves during this time. I feel like that's the most important thing right now, just keeping our sanity too and taking care of our mental health. But I love that you said 2020 really taught us a lot. So for you, young Raja, what do you think was like the biggest thing that you learned after everything that you experienced in the last year?
I would say the biggest thing would be learning how to be with myself. Is something that
Oh.
I was always weak in. Like, I'm an extroverted dude. I love to go to
Hey,
parties. I love hanging out
hey.
with my friends.
Mhm,
So to be in a situation where you just have to be comfortable with yourself and comfortable with being alone is something that I've always been weak in. And 2020 taught me the valuable lesson of being with yourself and understanding yourself from a different perspective, from a
mhm,
very insightful kind of a view.
mhm,
And I feel that that kind of a shift in perspective brings a lot of growth.
mhm,
So I think all of us can agree on this. As much as we have gone through the struggles, the ups and downs and all that, 2020
mhm,
has made us all spiritually stronger. We're all stronger people now, not just spiritually but mentally, emotionally. We're all
mhm.
stronger folks now. So that's really cool. And apart from that, I got a lot more close with my mom and dad, which is
Aw,
great. It kind of
yeah.
strengthened the ties between the family a
Mhm,
little bit, because you're spending so much
mhm,
time at home. So that's something I'm
mhm.
very happy about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these things might have not happened if we didn't experience everything that's been going on right now. I mean, it sucks like
Yeah.
that we're in a pandemic, like, but like what you said, there's like silver lining to everything
Yes.
that's been going on too. And you said that
Absolutely.
despite everything that's been happening, your team and you have been working really hard and everything, like the music too. So how has that been, working on music and staying creative despite having to deal with the things outside in the world?
I mean, still, we still think about everything that's happening around the world every day.
Yeah,
You look at the
yeah, for
news and
sure.
all, like it's impossible to not feel a certain kind of way.
Hmm.
But I think what's been pivotal in this entire past 1.5 years has been the support systems, right? So
Yeah.
at home, I have my family that is there for me to rely on, and then at
Mhm.
work, as in not at work. I mean, I don't need to go to the office, but like with my team, like I've
Yeah.
built a great team over the last couple of years. You know, people that are so dope to work with, and friends actually. You know, so these are the
Mhm.
support systems that I have that has allowed me to, you know, just find my ground a little bit more, like as I go on. So that has
Mhm.
helped me with staying creative and trying to make stuff, get stuff done and get more songs done and all that. But I'm very excited because 2021, like
Yeah.
it's a year that's going to be way crazier than the last couple of years.
Sure.
Last 3 years I've been putting out one song every year, but we're
Mhm.
finally
Mhm.
at a time where I am going to be releasing more music, and I've been waiting for this time for the longest time. So yeah, it's going to be a great year, and
Mhm.
I'm just very happy, and I'm looking forward to share the stuff that we've been working on. Yeah.
Oh my God. I love this excitement. It's getting me hyped too for everything that you're like planning. So I'm so, so excited. But before we do move on, I do want to talk about
Mhm.
how you started out with music. But also before that, I've been just thinking
Okay.
about this since we started this interview. I do want to ask, like, what color is your hair right now? Because your light is like pink, right? So I keep thinking it's
Yeah,
pink, but
yeah.
I don't think it's pink. So
It is
what color?
pink.
I
It
mean,
is
if you don't
pink.
mind asking. Oh, no, wait. Is it really pink?
It is actually pink. I don't know if you can see. Let me switch on.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's a
because
little
the light is
black and
different.
gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
pink. I've
yeah.
I've changed my hair color several times, but pink was the color that I started with. Like in 2018 when I started my
Oh.
career, like the
Yeah.
real shift started to happen when
Mhm.
I dyed my hair and I pierced my ears, and
Mhm.
everybody's like, "Oh,
Oh.
who's this kid? There's a rapper, right?" So
Yeah. Who
I
is
decided to
he?
go back to pink. Yeah, it's been
I
two,
love
3 years
it.
now. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a
Thank you
it's
so
a
much.
full circle moment. I just really had to ask. I was like, "Oh my God, is he blonde? Is he pink haired right now?" But to everyone watching, it's pink. Okay, so now let's
It's
move
pink.
on.
It is.
Talking about how you actually started with music. I saw in an interview before that you
Mhm.
started with piano.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Hey,
Oh no, I think he lagged.
she's lagging.
Hello. Hello,
Hi.
young Raja. Can you hear
Can you hear me?
me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh no. Yes, there we go.
Hi.
I think you're back.
Ooh.
Yes, you're back.
Yeah,
There you go.
yes. Okay, I'm back. I'm back now, guys.
Yeah, no problem. I thought it was me. I thought it was me. Oh, there. Oh, maybe it was me. Okay, it was probably me. But anyway, I
That's
was
all
just
good.
asking. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so
sorry.
sorry
Yeah,
about that. But I was
no,
just
no, no.
asking.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I was just asking. So I was so thrown off by that. But anyway, I was just asking. What was it like for you? Like you said, you always knew you wanted to be a star since you were younger. So what kind of sparked that in you?
Well, I mean, I've always wanted to be a part of the entertainment industry.
Mhm.
Um, since I was a kid, like my mom especially, she's always told me that she believes that I will do well in the entertainment industry because as a child, I had a
Mhm.
lot of sisters around me. I had my parents. There's a lot of family members, and I was the youngest child. I'm the youngest. I'm the only son, and the kind
Mhm.
of pampering that I received and the kind of attention that I received was a lot, you know, and
Yeah.
I did well with that, and I naturally enjoyed people paying
Mhm.
attention to me, being the center of attention, being the class clown, being the joker. So my mom
Mhm.
had the inclination that I would do well in the entertainment industry, and I started off as an actor actually.
Oh wow.
Before music, I was acting
Mhm.
for about 8 9 years here in Singapore, and then but music, all this while music has always been something that I was passionate about, but I
Mhm.
never
Mhm.
once thought that this could be my life, you know, this could be the path that I'm going to walk on. So this journey started for me about 4 years ago in 2018
Mhm.
when I met
Mhm.
some brilliant people, some original thinkers, some
Mhm.
geniuses in their own way, and meeting these people was the most crucial thing that happened for everything to just turn, you know, just everything
Mhm.
just went to a whole different level. And it is so crazy to look back because it was all so quick.
Mhm.
um but yeah, man, these are some of the most exciting times in my life, and I'm so happy that I get to share it, with folks like you, just
Mm-hmm.
getting to talk about it is something that brings great joy in my heart. um yeah, like I would have never expected these twists and turns. So um it's been a very exciting journey thus far,
Mm-hmm.
with my guys, with my team, with my best friend Faris Jabba, who I
Mm-hmm.
started making music with. uh yeah, like it is so fun creating music. It is so
Mm-hmm.
fun living a life of passion, and I'm very grateful that I have that God, the universe, has blessed me with a life that brings this much joy.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is to share this joy with as many people as I can, putting out the music
Mm.
that I love. Like if you watch my videos, there's a certain kind of vibe to it.
Yeah,
Like when you're
definitely.
watching it, you're either smiling or you either just like, it'll be quite difficult for you to be upset or holding on a grudge or like being angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like while you watch my videos is like
Yeah,
super in
that's
your
true.
face, it's colorful, right?
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
The goal from day one has always been to spread joy and to
Mm-hmm.
uplift people with the music. So that's something that I have enjoyed so much doing. Like I'm always looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to putting out a song with the kind of visuals that brightens up somebody's day.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so fun. Like, yeah, so I enjoy what I do, and I wouldn't want to change it for anything else.
I love this energy. Like just seeing like hearing you talk about like everything you've been doing. I can tell that like it's a very positive and it's like something that you love to do and you love to share with everyone. So we want to thank you obviously for sharing all of this like energy through your music. And it's insane. Like you started off like you said as an actor and you just met some people along the way and then you kind of ventured into music. But what made you
Mhm.
decide that like rap was the thing? Because like music is very like it's very there's a lot of different kinds of music, right? So what made you decide
Absolutely.
like rap was like the one that you wanted to do?
I've always been secretly passionate about hip hop
Mm-hmm.
music. Because when I was younger, like now I'm this guy with pink hair and like I look like this
Pink
now,
hair.
but yeah, but like 15 years ago, like when I was in school, I was this short, chubby dude, specs. I was a nerd. Like people, like I
Cute.
was bullied. I was pushed around. Like I was never. I didn't have. I was struggling to bring my actual
Mm-hmm.
personality out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
those were my experiences growing up. So given that, I've always been secretly passionate about hip hop music because it was so different from what the world perceived me as at that time and who I
Mm-hmm.
was inside. I'm gonna put on my headphones and
Yeah.
I'm like listening to Lil Wayne and Drake and I'm like, yeah, yo, this is crazy. Like I feel like the coolest guy alive. Like while I'm
No,
listening
yeah,
to
yeah.
rap music, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's been a secret. Like I just didn't have the friends that were passionate as me to like share that energy with, all the way until when I was 18 years old. I met
Mm-hmm.
my best friend. His name is Faris Jabba, the guy that I mentioned just now. He is also a musician here. He
Mm-hmm.
makes music in English and Malay. He sings, dances, and raps. He's my best friend. I met him,
Oh,
and he was the first person that I was able to share that passion for hip hop with, because he liked the same rappers, he liked the same flows, he liked the same styles.
cute.
I'm like, oh, I have so many things to talk to you about. There's so many things that I've stored in me
Mm-hmm.
for the last
Mm-hmm.
6 7 years that I have yet to
Mm-hmm.
share with somebody. So I built that friendship with him, and through that friendship I discovered my passion for hip hop, like how strong my passion for hip hop actually was.
Mm-hmm.
Like the friendship is one of the greatest blessings in my life, because I would have never imagined that through a relationship I discover a part of myself that would have been hidden if I hadn't met this person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so through through this friendship, Faris was the one that told me, "Hey man, listen, I think you have a talent. You're talented in this. You should give it a shot. You're
Mm-hmm.
still young. Like just try it, right?" So we both
Mm-hmm.
tried together, and by that time, I was
Oh.
I was so my enthusiasm for rap music and my enthusiasm for rapping. I was always that kid that was trying to rap, like in
Mm-hmm.
school. Like I
Mm-hmm.
would always try to rap to impress girls. I'm like, yo, listen, you want to hear this new Eminem song? Then I'll just go hard and I'll rap for the girls, and I'll entertain the
I love it.
classroom.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that that passion for wanting to rap has always been there, but I guess with Faris, what we did was we just polished whatever that was already there, and tried to
Mhm.
see where that can bring us. And it has been 4 years since then. So that's why I tell you, I never would have imagined my life to just turn 180 like within
Mhm.
a couple of days or a couple of weeks, like from an idea for it to come into fruition, right? The idea was,
Mhm.
hey, check out, like, try rapping. Let's see how you fare up when it comes to rapping. From that, 2 months later, you're signed to a label and you're putting out your singles with a music video with a budget and all that. I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, this is the most
Wild.
insane plot twist I've ever
Yeah.
witnessed in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I can imagine like when you said like, growing up, you were really different from like what you are now. Like you even said
Yeah,
that people would like you were like a little bit nerdy and a little bit dorky, which is I mean, we all have that phase too. And we
yeah,
all it's kind of like necessary that we go through that phase too. And
yeah.
I love that
You're
you
right.
said like no one knew you were listening to hip hop because that's so
Nobody.
like I love that because like every time I see people wearing like AirPods or something, I always think, I wonder what they're listening to. So you never
Right.
really know, and exactly. So I love that. It was like a huge turning point also for you to meet your best friend, and like it just followed from there. So that's so cool. But I also do want to know, since you're from Singapore and in Singapore, there's so many cultures. Like in Singapore,
Mhm.
there's so many different cultures there, and you're of Indian heritage as well. And you also mentioned that
Yeah.
like your inspiration to, or one of your inspirations was like Will Smith when you saw Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So how do you kind of like balance all of that with your sound, like with everything that inspires you, especially everything around you?
Yeah. That's a wonderful question.
Mhm.
I'm so happy to share this with you because I feel that this is something that is very unique to
Mhm.
Singaporeans, especially Singapore born and bred Singaporeans, because
Mhm.
bilingualism is very much ingrained in our DNA as Singaporeans. When we
Mhm.
go to school, we got to learn English as our first language, and then your mother tongue, whichever heritage you're from,
Mhm.
nationality you are. So for me, I had to learn Tamil in school, and
Mhm.
given that kind of a situation, right? I've always been pretty fluent in Tamil and English, growing up.
Mhm.
And on top of that, my family, they're from South India. They're from Tanjavur. They moved to Singapore in 1993. And then I was born here in 95. And what's cool is that when my family moved to Singapore, they never once changed their way of, like,
Mhm.
speaking, the things that they used to, their ways of life.
Yeah.
They never changed any of it. So by the time I came
Mhm.
around, I was basically entering a fully South Indian household, but in
Yeah.
Singapore, right?
Yeah.
So the experience at home, the kind of influence I'm getting from home is very South Indian. So that really helped
Mhm.
with my relationship with the Tamil side, the Indian culture, right? And then
Mhm.
being a first generation Singaporean, going to school, mingling around with folks from
Yeah.
different races and all, that kind of
Mhm.
exposed me to a different kind of a world. And then being a
Mhm.
hip hop fan and being a fan of
Yeah.
like movies and music from the West,
Mhm.
I was like developing a taste for anything from the West. So I
Mhm.
guess through the years, just growing up, kind of absorbing all these different worlds of content, different worlds, right?
Mhm.
I At some point, I think around the time of deciding to do music, I kind of figured out well, not figured out, but like I kind of decided to merge all these
Yeah.
different worlds of inspirations and influences that I've had collected over the
Mhm.
last 5-10 years, right?
Mhm.
And being an artist, like choosing to become an artist, like a musician, is one of the best decisions I've ever made, because this decision has helped me glue everything together. And now now I don't feel disjointed. You know what I mean? I don't feel like,
Mhm.
growing up, I used to feel like at home I'm some different guy. When I'm with my
Yeah.
friends, I'm a different dude.
Mhm.
When I'm
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hanging out with my hip hop friends, I'm a different.
Yeah.
It was mad conflicting to be in that
Yeah.
headspace. But then the moment I decided to be an artist, everything just came together, and I was allowed
Aw.
to be my most honest, authentic self, which is who I
Mhm.
am. So
Yeah.
I got to give props to the fact that hip hop, by nature, like in its nature, it is something that expects the truth out of the artist. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
like you
Definitely.
you you got to speak your reality. You got to speak your truth,
Mhm.
and that
Mhm.
is something that is ingrained in hip hop. And I'm
Yeah.
just so glad that the genre that I fell in love with demands your truth and demands your reality. So
Hmm.
that prerequisite kind of helped me,
Hmm.
just join all my worlds together and be myself. So I feel whole now. Like I feel like music and being an artist, being a rapper is the glue that was missing all these years.
Hmm.
So that's how
Yeah.
it was like for me.
I can imagine like the kind of also relief that you got from, being in the hip hop world after like having all those conflicts. Yeah, like I can imagine like at home and then at school and then with like your hip hop friends,
Mhm.
like having all of
Yeah.
that kind of melt together into the kind of artist that you are. I can imagine it's like such a freeing thing for you
Right.
too. Cause
Yeah.
like what you said, like hip hop, it's so ingrained that you speak about truth because that's one of like the one of the foundations of hip hop. So that's so
Yeah.
cool that you're able to meld all of this, like all of your environments together into your music, which brings me to the question. Now that
Uh-huh.
you have this unison of everything that you're into and you're channeling all of it into your music, how would you describe young Raja or yourself as an artist?
Well, I am this bright, um, uh,
Definitely.
positive, smiling dude that makes songs that bangs in the clubs, that makes everybody want to
Mhm.
dance, um, makes the kind of content that uplifts people and spreads a positive energy to people. Right.
Mhm.
One of my biggest goals with my art is to touch as many lives as possible, inspire as many people as possible, spread as much goodness and spread as much joy as possible. um, is something that I feel very attached to. Like this goal, this mission of mine. Uh, I have to give props to my mom because she's like the biggest positive force in my life, and she's always taught me to spread that goodness, pass it down, spread it
Mhm.
around. So I take inspiration from her. So I'm this guy that is just encapsulates all that, and every song that I make, I'm trying to make something that shakes the room. You know what I mean? Like I love that kind of music.
Hey.
I fell in. What made me fall in love with hip hop music is the bass, is the drums,
Yeah.
the,
Mhm.
is the vibe that kind of affected me so much when I was a kid. And the first song that I listened to was the Eminem song, and I remember when the drums went, when the 808s hit, like I felt something was
Mhm.
visceral, right? So I'm trying to make the
Yeah.
kind of music that makes me feel that way.
Mhm,
So if you
mhm.
listen to my songs, like I don't know whether you've heard my songs in a club, but trust me
Mhm.
when I tell you, when the clubs open up again, if you listen to Mommy in the club,
I can
it-
imagine.
it's gonna slap. It's
Yeah, it's
it's gonna
really gonna
melt your
slap.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, you can't
yeah,
not just stand there. It's one of those like you just have to go. You have to go
yeah,
hard. Like no
yeah.
exception.
I try my best. I try my best to create the kind of
Mhm.
music that I love,
Mhm.
and it puts a smile on my face that I get to do that every day, and I get to try it out
Yeah.
every day and explore it every
Mhm.
day. It's like there's literally nothing else that I really need, to be honest. It's a life of fulfillment and a great joy. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's the kind of artist that I think I am. I don't know what people would
Oh,
say, but this is what
I
I would
can
say.
vouch. I can vouch for the bright and like positive and just like your music reflecting that. Cause like even just talking to you now, I feel like I'm getting
Mm.
that energy too. And I
Oh
love that
yeah,
you're hip hop. Cause like sometimes people will think of hip hop as something that is a little bit like angsty, a little bit like dark. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yes,
It's a
absolutely,
little bit dark. Yeah. But like when I
yeah.
listen to your music too, like I get
Mm.
the vibe of like, it's hip hop, but it's also something that's very uplifting in a sense that it's like
Yeah,
also really positive that makes you want to smile, which I feel like a
yeah,
lot of people don't really associate smiling with hip hop often.
yeah.
So that's really cool that you're able to bring
No,
that to the table too.
I wish that I wish I planned this, but I didn't plan this.
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
is so cool about hip hop, right? Is that no, just to add on to what you were saying, I think it's really
Yeah.
cool because in America, like hip hop came from America, right? It's a culture
Hmm.
that we
Hmm.
borrowed, right? So
Yeah.
by the time by the time people in Asia got to know of hip hop, what they're thinking of
Hmm.
is whatever the West has portrayed hip hop as, like as the culture.
Hmm.
So there's been a lot of I feel that there's been a lot of misrepresentations of what
Hmm.
people think hip hop actually is, right? People
Yeah, exactly.
associate hip hop
Hmm.
with all these different things that I feel
Hmm.
like it is not the truth of hip hop. I feel that hip
Mhm.
hop, in its essence, is all about love, bringing people together, brotherhood,
Yeah,
celebration,
it
unity,
is.
you know,
Mhm.
and because of the nature of how the genre works, you cannot lie. You cannot try to pretend to be a gangster if you're not. You cannot try to pretend
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
some happy dude if you're not. Like, that's just what the genre demands, right? So I'm this guy that's
Mhm.
just a happy-go-lucky dude that used to be a class clown. So my music reflects that, So I wish to
Mhm.
push that to the furthest extent, to see how much can I possibly do? How much positive vibes can I possibly create? You know. So yeah,
Mhm.
just wanted to add that. Yeah, go on. You
Yeah,
were
for
saying something.
sure. I totally agree though. Like hip hop every day it's like changing. It's like the landscape of it is like really growing, and the ideas that we have or a lot of people have about hip hop can be a little bit, like what you said, misinterpreted. And I feel
Mhm.
like as an artist, as a hip hop artist, you're really bringing it to the table and really switching it up to just to show people like hip hop, there's so many aspects and facets to hip hop, which I think is so cool that you're doing with your music too. But speaking of your music, let's talk about your latest single, which we already kind of talked about, Mommy. So
Mhm.
can you tell us more about how you created the song and what it was like creating it?
We Fly School is my
Mm-hmm.
producer and my mentor. We've been working together for 4 years. We made the song in 2018, right
Oh.
after we made Mustafa, which is
Mm-hmm.
my debut single.
Mm-hmm.
And if you realize that Mami and Mustafa has a very similar vibe. They're all
Mm-hmm.
club party songs. So we've been keeping it in a vault for 3 years, and we decided to release it now at a time when all the clubs are closed. People are not out there
Yeah.
partying. The vibe is kind of down, and people are just trying to get back on their feet. So we realized that releasing something like this now would really help people to get the vibe back up, to get the energy back up, because you're bringing the club to the people in a sense. So that
Mm-hmm.
was the
Yeah,
idea behind
definitely.
releasing it now. But the song is really cool because Mami, the word Mami means different things in different languages.
Mm-hmm.
In English, it has meaning. In Tamil, it has different meaning to it. And
Oh.
as a bilingual Tamil English artist, they have a name for that. Apparently, it's called Tanglish. I just found out Tamil English,
Oh,
Tanglish. So I'm a Tanglish rapper. Like,
Tanglish.
wow, didn't really know this. But yeah, as a
Whoa.
Tanglish artist, like, I find great joy in exploring the different expressions that we have in Tamil and English, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can say
Mm-hmm.
something in English right now that if I were to try to translate to Tamil, it won't be exactly the same, but it would sound very different, even though I'm saying the
Mm-hmm.
same things.
Yeah.
And given my uh, given the fact that I'm fluent both in Tamil and English, like, my brain works like 50% English, 50% Tamil. So, like, I spend equal times uh speaking Tamil and English, right? So
Yeah.
it feels like it's split into two. So exploring the
Mm-hmm.
different expressions and seeing what kind of expressions fit nicely together is creative
Yeah.
and cheeky and, like, kind of tongue in cheek, funny.
Ooh. Yeah.
Like, that kind of exploration is what drives my artistry, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always, with Mad Blessings, with Mustafa, with Mami, I'm always trying to see what can I explore lyrically, thematically. What
Yeah.
can I explore when it comes to the merger of Tamil and English, Tanglish, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do
Yeah.
that has never been said before, or never been said this way before, or talked about it in this particular way before? Something that I
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy so much, and it comes pretty naturally to me, and it's amazing. Like, it's so cool, because Tamil is one of the oldest languages in the world, like, in recorded history,
Mm-hmm.
and to give a language that has this much history and heritage, to give that a modern, new age, urban
Yeah.
spin that aligns with my truth as a Singaporean kid, is, like, what can I say? It's super cool. I find it super cool. So that's
Yeah.
how that's the process behind how my songs get made, and Mami, of course, came to be in that manner. Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. I can imagine like how fun it also is for you to kind of merge the worlds of like both your languages. I mean, being a
Yeah,
bilingual artist, I feel like that's a lot of fun, but also I can imagine also difficult at times kind of like trying to match
yeah,
everything together. But that's so cool
yeah,
that you're able to connect it and like you said, like breathe life into this language that has been one of the oldest recorded languages in the world. So that's so
yeah.
cool that you're able to do that through your music. But I do want to ask like with mommy, you
Mhm.
mentioned like you're kind of connecting the two languages too, so what's like your favorite thing or like tongue-in-cheek kind of thing that you did for this one that you're so excited about?
Well, lyrically, there's a lot of
Mhm,
things. There's a handful of things that I said
mhm,
that put a smile on my face as I was writing it
mhm.
or as I was recording it.
Yeah.
Um, I guess this is one of the lines is, um,
Mhm,
"You know I'm the native flight produce." Like I think it's kind of cool. The last line I said, "You know I'm the native flight produced,"
mhm,
which translates to, "You know I'm the fire that flight school, my guy. We call him flight for short. Flight produced."
mhm.
I I thought that was pretty cheeky and
Oh
pretty cool.
yeah.
So mixing that Tamil and English. But I have to
Mhm,
give props to my parents though. You know why? Because my
mhm.
dad is a Tamil poet. Uh, he
Oh,
he is very good, like
the
very
OG.
good. OG,
Mhm,
OG, big
mhm,
OG when it comes to
mhm.
Tamil, right?
Yeah.
And my elder sister is a Tamil teacher here in Singapore. So
Oh
whenever I have doubts on what certain
yeah.
words mean, I just call them up. I'm like, Dad, can you please tell me what this means? Like, yo, can you please come in and like help me translate this? You know what I mean?
That's
So
convenient.
it's very convenient. And not
Yeah.
just my dad and my sister, my mom too. I mean, them
Yeah.
being folks from South India,
Mhm.
their their knowledge and the kind of skill they have when it comes to practicing the language is just extraordinary. So and I take inspiration from them from time to time. But
Mhm.
yeah, if I were to choose that one line from mommy, it would be that
Yeah.
line. You know I'm the
Wow, I
Neripa
love
flight
that.
producer.
I love that. I mean, like in your household, you have your dad who's like a poet, your sister who is a teacher, your mom, of course, a native speaker, and then there's you, a rapper. So what an amazing household. That's so crazy. That's so much fun. And
Thank you.
I'm sure now,
Thank
like
you.
after Mommy, people are even more excited for everything that you have planned. I know you've been working on a lot of music too. You're so excited to get it out there. So what else can we expect coming from you, young Raja, especially with the year
Wow.
upon us?
You know what? To be honest, I don't think we have publicly spoken about the stuff that we have in store yet. But
Yeah.
you might be the first person that I'm talking to about this, and I'm very happy to share with you that um, I have more songs coming out this year. We're working on uh, just many more projects
Mm.
that I cannot wait to share with the world. Especially to the people that have been following me from day one. I've had a lot of people ask me why I've been releasing one song a year. Is Now that I look back, I don't understand as well. But circumstances. We couldn't put out more songs.
Mhm,
Stuff
mhm.
happens. But
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this time for the longest time, and I think it's going to be a very exciting year for the people that have been following me, the people that have been digging what I've been putting out. Um, I'm excited to share the light and share this vibe to people. We've been very busy for the last couple of months, and
Mhm.
I think we'll be still busy for the coming months. But just stay tuned is all I have to say for now.
Yay. Yay. So guys, you heard it here first. Young Roger's gonna be releasing more music this year. It's not gonna be one a year anymore. That's what he's guaranteeing. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys can expect a lot of things coming from him. But before I do let you go, Young Raja, do you have a message
Okay.
to all of your fans in the Philippines and everyone who's just been listening to you and supporting your music?
I would just like to say thank you, Philippines. Thank you everybody in Philippines for tuning in, for listening to me chat with Sam with two M's. I find great pleasure in sharing my story with you and letting you guys know who I am and what I'm about. It's a wonderful opportunity to speak to you guys. You guys are one of my favorite people in the world. It's one of my favorite countries in the world I've yet to visit. I'm
Mhm.
very grateful for the fact that you guys are listening right now. And till the next time I'm in Philippines, please take care, stay safe, and stay tuned for more fire music.
Hey, let's go. And when the time is right and everything is okay, we would love to have you here. You're always
Please,
welcome. I'm sure you would
please.
have a great time here too. I mean, we're a lot of fun.
Yeah,
We're
I've
a lot
heard
of fun too.
fantastic things about
Yeah.
Philippines.
For sure, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
we love dancing, we love music, we love singing, all of that. So we would definitely love to have you over. But for now, we would have to savor all of your music
Beautiful.
online. So guys, to everyone who's listening, make sure to check out Young Raja's music that's available on multiple digital streaming platforms, especially his latest single, which is Mommy. And you can check him out also on all of his social media platforms as well. So thank you so much to Young Raja for hanging out with me today.
Thank you, Sam. I really appreciate you for having me on board, and I really appreciate you for making this a conversation and not like an interview. It's super cool.
Oh,
Like I
I
really
got
appreciate it.
you.
It's rare. It doesn't come often, and I
Mhm.
make it a point to let them know if that's how you make me feel great. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for spreading your positivity and your energy to everyone. Now I'm so inspired to just like be happy all the time too and like dye my hair pink. I'm just kidding. Maybe one day. One day. You never
You
know. But
should.
thank you so
Give
much,
it
Young
a try.
Raja. I super enjoyed our conversation here today too. Thank you as well to everyone who tuned into this exclusive interview. And once again, this has been Sam with two M's and Young Raja. Thanks, guys.